Well, we have a mess to clean up. Welcome back. Let's clean up this mess first, and then we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into this video, which is going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. Alright, now that the area is kind of clean for the most part, maybe we still got a few items here or there. We got some sticks over here for some scenery stuff. But overall, it's a pretty decently clean spot. I mean, there's still some stuff all on the edge, but mill is pretty clean. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing something that I hasn't been done in a really long time that I should do, is we're going to rewire these Menards buildings. Been meaning to do these buildings, so pretty much what I do is I just have these all outlined here where I want these to go in relation to the road. So I have these two buildings here and here, and of course we're gonna have to drill holes, obviously, but we're gonna drill the holes, we're gonna get this one wired up, and we're gonna clean these both up. We're gonna get these wired up and the wires ran, so let's go ahead and let's do that right now. Pretty much what we could be doing is just doing this. So let's go ahead, let's just do that real quick. So the first thing we're doing is, of course, going to be cleaning up the buildings because we don't have a dirty building. So I'm going to grab these people, a bunch of people, and grab those guys. We're going to grab our first shop, which is this Halls of Handsome Barber Shop. This is from Menards. Both these buildings are from Menards. I really like Menards' buildings because they are really well detailed. They look great. They're relatively cheap. I think this was like $60, which sounds like a lot of money, but when compared to the Woodland Scenics buildings that are worth around $150 sometimes, which can get pretty pricey, especially when you're rolling on a budget, Menards buildings just fit that role with great detail. It's really good build quality and, of course, great pricing. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this building up. And the first thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to give this a good dust down. So I'm going to go over here. Going to grab my brush. Whoop. I'm going to grab our brush right here. Here's our brush. I'm going to move you guys closer. Right there. There we go. So now we have our building. We're going to pretty much just brush this thing down. Get off all the little dust, the dirt pieces up in here. It's going to clean this whole building up. There's the wall plug. So for Menards buildings, they have this spot under here with this pigtail right here that comes out. This is for like running it under the layout, which is what I'll be doing. But then they also have these holes right here, which if you're going to put this into a more temporary spot, this is where you would put that. So I went ahead and I got my makeup brushes. These are actually all makeup brushes. Yes, makeup brushes. Sounds a bit weird, but because of the softness and the amount of like bristles they have, these actually are really great because you have all of these sizes in here, which is actually a great tool to have. You got tons of sizes. I normally just keep this big one out because it helps with getting like most of the dust off of stuff. So like when I'm right here recording, normally I'll go through and I'll dust off all my trains, make sure it's like good for the camera so you don't have a lot of dust reflecting off of stuff. And also it's just really good just to have, just to make sure your items are being well kept. So we're going to come back in behind here and get all of this dust out from behind this guy in here. Yeah, I kicked up so much dust behind him. So yeah, these, you could probably get these kits, you can get these kits for like $20 online. These are definitely a must-have if you're into model railroading because it just helps get the dust out, helps get them all cleaned up and make sure they look all good for camp. This is one of their older ones. This is the Grandpa Jack's Hobby Shop. So of course we're going to clean this thing off first with the big brush. You're going to get this whole thing all nice and cleaned up. Get a little blow on it just to get the main big pieces off there. There we go. We got some paint on the back side Along here we got paint. Bring that to shot. We got paint all along here. One thing I like about these MI&OH buildings are, of course, their signs on the side. We got Jack, the German Shepherd. Yeah, look at all that paint splatter on the back. We're gonna clean that sucker up real well. And of course, we have the front of the hobby shop. So we're gonna come in here. We're just gonna clean this whole spot. Do that. Clean our brush off. We can grab our smaller brush right here. Got the smaller one. I'm gonna come here. Just gonna clean out from behind all these poles and these peepholes. Turn on the flash so you guys can see what's happening. Just a little bit better. There we go. There we go. That looks way better. So I'm gonna just kind of clean up the dust in here. We got some big pieces of dust. Most of this dust is actually not even dust. It's actually mostly hobby. The turfs. That's what it's called. Turfs. These are mostly just turfs from other stuff. So we're gonna clean that stuff out. Just clean it all up. It's so hard to clean in here. So yeah, here we go. We're just gonna get in there. But overall, this is not too bad. I'm going to use the big one again just to get the bulk. Use the smaller one right over there, and I'll use this one over here. There we go. Come over here, clean that spot out. A little bit right back in there. There's that piece. Pretty much just want to make sure that all your dust is, you want to make sure your buildings are well kept up with, cleaned, which is pretty much what I'm doing. These buildings have been ignored for so long. We do have a third one, but I'm going to do that off camera. So yeah, overall, this is looking really good. I think that's pretty good now. Clean underneath those hood vents. There we go. So there's our de-dusted, de-scenified, de-dirtied. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. But there's that. And then of course here is the jack right there. There's that one. There's some dust on the back of these. One thing I don't like about these are the stickers, because the stickers can lift and then you get crap. And then of course here's the pigtail on the bottom for plugging in, which we will be doing. So overall, there's that. So yeah, we're going to now clean up this building first with some IPA. We're going to just remove the dirt, not the dirt, the paint off of it. So let's go ahead and let's do that right now. So I'm going to just take a little bit of IPA. I'll just dip my Q-tip in there. I'm going to grab this, come to the back side over here. I'm going to just slowly start removing paint. There we go. There we go. So you know that top edge is nicely cleaned up. Now we're going to clean up this side part right here. Just be super careful because you can actually move the paint off these buildings. So that's like the one thing that I'm trying not to do, but it's probably gonna happen. So I'm just trying to just get just some small spots. Yeah, see, I'm removing a little bit of paint off of these, but I'm really tired of seeing these brown spots on the back, which I'm actually going to leave the back. I just want to clean up the side here, because you do see this side a lot more than what you think. At least I do. So I'm going to just clean up that edge right there. I'll leave the back spot just because it's fine. Clean up the side, so I'm going to get a new Q-tip. Dip it in the IPA. You don't have to do this to your buildings. I mean, obviously your buildings should be well kept up with. Mine fell really behind, so I'm removing some of the paint actually as I go along. But that's okay with me. So just make sure you take care of your stuff. Make sure it's all a-okay. There. And I probably will come through, and I probably will actually might weather this building specifically because it's a little bit different shade of yellow, and I would actually like it to be a little bit different. Definitely change it. So I don't know. I might do it. I haven't really thought about that super deep yet, but overall, this building is good, and this building is also good. I'm just gonna quickly grab one Q-tip, and I'm going to just run it in these cracks right here. Just because these cracks hold dust and dirt really easily. So overall, there we go. So a little bit of paint on here, so I'm going to just dip just the tip of this one in there. There we go. Go. I'm gonna just clean up a little bit of paint spills up in here. Right there, got a little bit right there. A little right there. Clean that right there. And I think this is actually looking a-okay now. So it's pretty much what we're just doing. We're just gonna go through, just detail these buildings up a little bit, just make sure they're a-okay. And there we go. Both these buildings are now ready to be wired. So let's go ahead and let's figure out where this hole is and where this hole's actually is ready to go. I have to drill just this hole. It'll be good to go, and they'll run those cords right now. So right here is the spot on the layout where these two buildings will be going. So this first cord, I did actually mark, can't really see it, but there is a line running right here. That's where these buildings are supposed to be going. And of course you can see right back behind here we got a little bit of scenery detailing. We got the rock wall for this mountain. This area is actually pretty much done. I was going to be putting some trees right there, but I'm missing one item from those right now. So for right now, we're gonna not be putting trees, but we will be putting trees on the layout very, very soon in a scenery video that I'll be doing. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put this in its spot right here. Line that up. Actually, that's a-okay. And we do have to run the wire, so we'll do that. And this spot, that seems to be about here. So we will mark that. To grab a pen. I'm going to grab this. Lift it. Right about there. So somewhere in there's where we gotta drill a hole. Yep, right about here. Alright, there's our hole. So we're gonna put a hole right there for this building. And then for this building, it's right about, so we set this one back down. Run the pigtail back up into it. This is very difficult. One-handed. Well, actually two-handed. So we'll line that sucker up. right where it's supposed to go. If we line this one up, we're gonna go about 2 inches and an inch back. So right there. It's like right about somewhere right in there. So like right about there's our hole. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna grab a drill bit and we'll drill those holes right now for these buildings. Real quick, you may be asking yourself, what are these 2 holes right here? Well, these buildings actually used to be right here. This cord ran right in here, and then this one ran right into here, and the road actually used to be right about in here. The difference is I moved the road, I moved these buildings back about 3 to 4 inches and left about 2. So it actually gave me more space to put a road in here because I did change, obviously, the layout a lot within the last year. So that's pretty much what we're doing. Just putting that out there in case you were wondering. So in between those scenes, as I was getting ready to drill the hole for the 2 buildings, the pigtail on the hobby shop building came out of the port. So I have the pigtail in the building, but they're not together, so I'm not going to drill the holes actually until that happens. We're going to just leave this, and we're going to work on something else for now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move over to another spot that we have to work on, which is the tunnels. Let's go do that right now. So right here, if you can't really see, we have some broken spots. We got a broken spot right here. We got to repair, we got to fix this spot right here. I did remove this pole right here from the brick wall as it doesn't look as good. It does allow my trains to articulate a little bit better without having to worry about clearance. So I had to remove it, but we got it. It's good. So we're going to go ahead and repair these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just move your guys right up somewhere over here. I don't really know where yet. And we're going to just do some scenery work right here, right before I have to go to work. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So right here you can actually see it a little bit better. We have these holes right here, which we're going to be repairing. And then we also have this one right here. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to, first, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just put some tape behind her just to hold these spots up. And the reason why these holes are actually here is not because of me, but because of my cats. I have 3 cats actually. And they, for some reason, like to step right onto here, specifically these 2 spots. I will be putting trees here, so they won't be doing that actually anymore. But with cats, they like going up higher, and the higher they can be, the better for some reason. Cat thing. So there's actually another spot on my layout that the whole mountain is actually indented because I didn't think about them, but they apparently really like sleeping up there. So we're going to fix these 2 spots right for today. I'll do the other spot some other time, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to repair this. You're going to see my scenery process, which I'll do an actual full video on how to do all of this great detail work for 2 different styles of it. More of a dirt dead spot, and then we have a little bit more of an alive area on the other side of the layout. So we're going to let's go ahead and let's fix these. So right here what we did is we just went ahead and we took some tape. You can kind of see the gray peeking through. Of course this isn't a super strong spot. I really should put a piece of wood back here, but I just don't have that with me right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be filling in these gaps right here. We'll cover this spot up with some glue and some paper, not paper, scenic stuff, and we'll fill in all these cracks, and it'll pretty much look like it was never happened. This has been needing to be done, and we'll do some touch-up work right here on this piece right here. See, we got a piece of broken spot right here, so we'll fix that right there, and we'll just clean all this spot up. We'll clean this spot up right here too, and yeah, let's go ahead, let's do that right now. Alright, so it's the next day, and you can see that this area is now completely dry and hardened back up. So what that means is that now we can go ahead with the next step, and that's going to be actually doing a little bit of like additional scenery work and putting on these tufts of grass. These are by JTT. These are kind of it's a hobby shop that we have in my town, and they sell these grasses. And so we got these, so we're going to apply some of them right now. I think these are just a couple bucks for these packs. There we go. Pop the back. If I'm being honest, I actually have a lot of their scenery product because I kind of like it. It's pretty cheap, looks pretty good in my opinion. And here it is. It's just a sheet, just like that. And we'll put some of these over here. I'd actually have all up on this mountain area. We'll do a little bit more scenery work, putting some trees and stuff. So let's go ahead and let's get a pair of tweezers, and then we'll just start applying this right now. Alright, so after a couple minutes of figuring out how to actually apply these, which honestly, you just take a pair of scissors and you just remove the back paper. You just remove the back paper. It's like this, like plate paper or whatever, and it's pretty much this moldable, shapeable plastic, and then you just kind of cut it to however size you want it. And that's what I did here. Obviously, I got a little bit glue happy on this side, but overall, when I think these dry in a little bit, these are going to look absolutely great. And they're going to look stunning. I think it's going to look really good. So that's pretty much how this looks now. I think it looks really good. Overall, that looks good. I'll take care of this stuff off camera, the little dinks out of it. But let's go ahead and let's talk about some plans now for this upper area, which you can kind of see some grain cars parked up here. So if you did not see my most recent video, these two tracks I have right here, yes, there's two. These both are now wired up and they are operational. I did a switching operation video. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's right now on the channel. It's a really cool video. I thought it was really, really neat. And I want to put a granary here because I live in the Great Mitten State and we have a lot of grain. Of course, we're not as big as like other places that have a lot of corn or wheat, but I do see a lot of granaries whenever I'm driving throughout the state. So I thought it'd be really cool to have a little bit of my culture and kind of my state in the layout, and that's by putting the granary right here. My idea for the granary is to have a concrete slab here with two pop bottles that are surrounded in this foam. Kind of like this foam-like substance. Kind of looks like concrete. It's just like a piece of like bendable foam. I'm going to wrap a pop bottle in it and then hope that it looks good. If it doesn't, oh well, I wasted maybe 50 cents. Actually, like $1.50 because the Fago is kind of like $1 or whatever. But overall, I think it's going to be a really cool spot, and I'll be 3D printing some granary stuff to go with it. Just pretty much just really sell the idea that it's a granary. This is pretty much what it is. I mean, is it going to look the best? No, not really, because it's up on a hill mountainside. But I do really, really, really want this to look really, really good. So I'm going to try my best. I'm going to do a lot of detailing. I'll figure out how to make like some pathways or whatever. Just really study a granary and see how they get grain loaded into these hopper cars. I've got quite a few hopper cars. I've got, I think, a total of like 10. Let's see. So yeah. Oh, but I just want to put a granary here, so that's going to be coming in a later video once I figure out how to do that. So keep your eyes open for that because we will be building that. And then also our bridge, if you can kind of see it, is also finished. I just got to paint one super small touch-up work. Besides that, this whole thing is done. So let's go ahead and let's do the buildings now. because those are fixed. And yeah, let's go ahead and see that now. Alright, so here are the two buildings hooked in. These obviously aren't wired up, as you could quite literally just pull these up. But the cords are ran under there for both the buildings. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and let's cut to the new ones. Alright, so here it is. Here are the two buildings now wired up. I think this looks absolutely great. It definitely does help pull the scene just together a little bit more with the lights actually now being on. It looks a little bit more realistic. Obviously, these are white, these are yellow lights, so it's fine. These are pretty bright for my liking. I definitely do wish Menards would light deepen, lighter. I don't know, make these darker. I guess if that makes sense. Because they're just a little too bright that they project so much light that it really illuminates the room. So if I turn off these lights right here, there's a lot of light shining onto these tracks in the yard and in front of them. So, but overall, this looks so much better. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get the other building set up and wired, and then this spot will be looking a lot better. Alright, so here is the scene pretty much complete, obviously. We're still missing a very key element, which is the road. But overall, this spot is pretty much done. I think this looks a lot better. Let me quickly go ahead and let's plug this in. You guys can actually watch me plug this in and watch it happen in real time. To grab this cord. Now that light is now all plugged in, and I think this looks so much better. And obviously, got to clean up the wood chips or the wood scrapes left over, but this looks so much better. So that's the end of this video. I just want to thank you guys so much for going ahead and going through this process with me. I think this looks so much better with the lights and fixed scenery. I will be doing actually a scenery how-to, because I actually want to redo some of the scenery because I'm not happy with it. It was a rush job and doesn't look good. So we're going to be going ahead and we're going to be doing that in an upcoming video very, very shortly. So keep your eyes out for that. Stay tuned. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. And let's go ahead and let's try to get to 500 subscribers, guys. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.